The main lesson from The King of the Mountain by Arnold Ludwig. Arnold Ludwig's The King of the Mountain, The Nature of Political Leadership explores a fascinating question: what kind of person seeks and succeeds at becoming a political leader? Drawing from a psychological and biographical analysis of over 1,900 leaders from 20th century nations, Ludwig provides a striking and often sobering insight into the traits, behaviors, and circumstances that produce political dominance. The lesson. Ludwig argues that political leadership is more primal and psychological than we like to admit. Much like animals in the wild compete for dominance in a hierarchy, humans are drawn to leadership as a way of securing control, power, and prestige. The pursuit of leadership, particularly in politics, often reflects a Darwinian struggle, one driven by ambition, ego, and strategic cunning more than idealism or pure service. Key insights and lessons for leaders. 1. Leadership is a competitive arena. Ludwig likens political leadership to climbing a mountain: the higher the peak, the fiercer the competition. Aspiring leaders must accept the reality of competition and political maneuvering if they wish to reach and remain at the top. Leadership lesson: ambition is not a dirty word. Without it, nothing significant gets done. However, unchecked ambition without values can become destructive. 2. Personality matters more than ideology. The book finds that a leader's personality traits, such as drive, dominance, and resilience, matter more than political beliefs when it comes to achieving power. Leadership lesson: cultivate inner strength, decisiveness, and emotional control. What gets you to the top often isn't policy, it's presence. 3. Narcissism is a common trait. Many of the leaders have high levels of narcissism, which can fuel their rise but also create blind spots. Their belief in their destiny and abilities can lead to both greatness and downfall. Leadership lesson: self-belief is vital, but so is self-awareness. Leaders must balance confidence with humility to avoid being seen as selfish. 4. Context shapes leaders. Different environments produce different types of leaders. For example, crises often elevate bold, even authoritarian figures, while stable times reward more collaborative styles. Leadership lesson: adapt your leadership style to the moment. Know when to be a warrior, a negotiator, or a visionary. 5. Legacy is rarely pure. Ludwig shows that most leaders leave mixed legacies. They do both good and harm. Even admired leaders often have darker aspects to their rule. Leadership lesson: focus not on being seen as perfect, but on making enduring impact. Great leaders accept the complexity of their role and strive for long-term value. Final reflection for modern leaders. Ludwig's work is a reminder that leadership is as much about psychology and survival instincts as it is about noble vision. For today's leaders, whether in politics, business, or education, the lesson is clear. To lead well, you must understand power, know yourself, read the context, and lead with clarity, not illusion. Here are some case studies. 1. Winston Churchill, the crisis commander. Lesson: context shapes leaders. Churchill's leadership thrived during World War II, a time that demanded boldness, defiance, and rhetorical brilliance. Before and after the war, his leadership style was less effective, even divisive. His rise proves Ludwig's point: the right personality thrives in the right context. 2. Margaret Thatcher, the Iron Lady of Dominance. Lesson: personality trumps ideology. Thatcher's conviction, dominance, and resilience made her a towering figure. Whether loved or loathed, she was decisive, unyielding, and highly strategic. Her success wasn't just about conservative ideology, it was her powerful personality that reshaped Britain. 3. Nelson Mandela, the humility paradox. Lesson: balance belief in destiny with humility. Mandela had the charisma and self-belief to withstand 27 years in prison and still command a nation. Yet, his greatness lay in restraining the desire for revenge, embracing reconciliation instead. A rare leader who transformed inner conviction into healing. 4. Donald Trump, the narcissist as leader. Lesson: narcissism fuels rise, but also polarization. Trump's rise mirrors Ludwig's description of leaders driven by ego and dominance. His charisma and media mastery won him the presidency, but his lack of humility and emotional control led to a deeply divided legacy. 5. Jacinda Ardern, leading with empathy. Lesson: compassion is strategic power. While not typical of Ludwig's archetype, Ardern's leadership during the Christchurch attacks and COVID-19 crisis showed that authenticity and empathy can command authority. She defied the alpha-dominant mold by leading with emotional intelligence and still climbing the mountain. Like and subscribe to the channel.